Good morning again, Century 21 agents. Thanks for being here. I'm excited to be with you today and give you a few of my thoughts. Today, we're going to talk about price reductions. But before we get into that, I really want to take your mind on a journey. So bear with me, walk with me, feel what I'm telling you. I want you to visualize where we're going and what we're doing. So I want you to think you're getting ready, you walk out your door ready to go into work or ready to go to an appointment. You open your door, you sit, you get comfortable, you put your belt on, we hope, and you start taking that journey. What is your mindset? What is it you're feeling? Or do you reach up and you turn on the radio? You start listening to your favorite radio station. What are the emotions that are rushing into you? Because remember, how we set our day up and what comes into our mind greatly affects where we go that day. So if we're thinking, we've turned on our favorite radio stations, we're imagining this blissful drive. We show up to our appointment, and just as we do that, our favorite song comes on. And we immerse ourselves immediately into that emotion. That emotion is speaking to me. This feels good. This is something I'm enjoying. I don't want to turn it off. So I sit there and listen to the beat as my soul melts to it, and it creates the great emotion inside. Where does that put me? Now, the reason I ask you this and to take this journey for me, think about this for a minute. Everything in life is a presentation. I remember selling my mom on what breakfast cereal I wanted and what I could say, what I could do, what I could talk about to maybe convince her this is what I want because it had the toy I wanted inside it. It's typically a little car, because I'm a car fanatic. So what was so important about that? Because a child actually dives right into the emotion because that's all they know. We lose that in our journey as we travel through life and as we're presenting to people. But the question is, how are we showing up? How are we showing up to make people feel? Are we that song? That we're hitting the right tone? Are we doing it through care? Is our pitch, is our inquisitive questioning taking us on that journey? Because even if you're trying to convince your wife or your husband, which restaurant are we going to go to? Which movie are we going to see? My wife and I love sci-fi and action. She obviously loves passion. I don't even know what you call them. Passionate films. I don't know. Chick flicks. But I watch as she tries to convince me about what she wants. And I want to convince her I want to see this action film because of what the experience I receive when I do that. So if we're taking this journey and presenting, life is nothing more and nothing less than a series of presentation. And I learned that if I can sell my wife on this, I'm a dang good salesperson. I got past that, and boy, was it ever scary. But what was my pitch? Somewhat a shy young guy, hoping, but I knew I just had to ask. I had to close, right? God, I look back on how I closed her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that worked. But I never asked the reason of why. But I started some 20 years ago asking, why does things happen the way they do when I show up? So as we relate that to pricing strategies and getting into price reductions, so we show up to the client's house. We pretty much convinced them we're coming over, we're listing the property, and here's what happens. God, can we list a little high so we have room to come down? Well, in this market, right, not a problem. And I'm assuming in California, that's the case too. Really, we're getting multiple offers in the 2 and 3 million range. So as you look at that, what are we doing? We have to future pace our clientele. We've done a pretty good job up to this point. We've got to the point to where, look, we've convinced them to list with us. They're feeling good about, the song that we're singing. They're buying into it. They're tapping along to it. They're hitting the same notes and singing along. What about you when you're in the car and they hit that chorus? You start singing at the top of your lungs, and you happen to be at this intersection. You're holding your own concert, and you look over to the car next to you and go, oh, they're watching me. How many have done that? I have. I just give them a peace sign and keep on to my concert because I love to sing. So are we doing that in our presentations? Because how we show up in life truly, truly matters. The skill set we build every morning. Do you realize a singer who gets on stage will not perform in a live audience till they've approximately 10,000 times practiced their own song they wrote or one that's on their album? They won't do it until they have practiced 10,000 times. What are you doing with your scripts? Because even the great God of this world give us scriptures to study. How important is it for us to study our scripts to know what to say? I would imagine it's pretty life-changing, because in a moment of distress and lack of confidence, if we know it so well, we are going to be able to sing that song, and those that we're performing for are going to buy into it all-heartedly. So as we decide that we're going to list slightly high, here's my pitch. Guys, if you're willing to follow a pricing strategy, knock yourself out on the price, especially in this market. Now in a market to where we have an abundance of listings, it's a little bit different approach. We're wanting to be more realistic with our pricing, but the approach is the same. The approach of implementing a pricing strategy. Well, what is a pricing strategy? How well and rich do you know it? Can you sing it like your favorite song? Can you put it together with your eyes closed? Because remember, people show up to what they remember and what they like. That's why we go to our favorite restaurant, our favorite movies, whatever entertainment we're going to do, or even our favorite dentist or doctor. Why? Because we know what the results are going to be like. It was a great experience. So we have to ask ourselves, how are we showing up in our clients' lives for that very reason? So the pricing strategy would be this. You put the home on the market. We have no showings, no offers in the first 3 weeks. You're 7 to 10% overpriced, folks. Now I'm casting this vision for them. I'm very clearly asking them, do they understand the song I'm singing? Does it make sense that if we have the home on the market, we have no showings, no offers in the first 2 to 3 weeks, the market is speaking to us. We as agents are translators. We are interpreting what the market is saying to our client. That's why we're there. We're that speaker singing that song, saying overpriced, 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 overpriced. They will resist it unless we are doing it in a fashion we can cast that vision. That vision is no offers, no showings. Yeah, we're overpriced, 7 to 10%. So then we get to the other half. Okay, what if we've had some showings, no offers? At that point, we become 5 to 7% overpriced. So we have to cast that vision, some offers or some showings, no offers. We know we're within striking distance. Are we casting that vision to where they're tapping along with the song? They understand, or have we future paced them enough to be able to have them buy in to what I'm presenting. Can they feel it? Can they see it? Did they buy into it? Are they a teammate? If we're doing that, the pricing strategy works extremely strong. Now you can find that on page 42 in our script book. Know that, study that, implement that, sing that song to another agent, ask them what can you improve on it. Because pitch, tone, downswing, or maybe even an inquisitive upswing. Why would you want to stay where you're at? Why don't we do this? We have no offers. We've had some showings, no offers. We need to drop the price 5 to 7%. So if we're actually doing that, we can watch body language that takes us on a journey with them of whether they're buying in or buying out. Because remember, they're going to sit there and decide based on their emotion how they're feeling. What is it something they're dealing with? How are we showing up? Without question, we have the steering wheel. Are they jumping in the car? Are they feeling where we're going? We can gauge where we're going in so many cases. The price reduction, which we're not getting a whole lot of right now, but look, we have some properties that are in the, 2 to 3 to 4 million spot that we're doing price reductions on. I have a listing in North Salt Lake that we actually put on the market for $905. We're ending up with, we got an offer right now at $920. We supposedly have another one coming in for $940, no contingencies. You'd think in your mind, well, price reduction doesn't really matter, right? No, okay, if that's the case, then what are we doing as we're approaching the market and future pacing them for appraisal issues? I'm stating to them that, guys, remember, if we're actually over market pricing and the appraiser can't justify where we're at, I'm future pacing them for that scenario in case it happens. I'm asking for a buy-in. Do we understand? Because here's what we know. We will get fair market value, maybe slightly more. So learning the pricing strategy, guys, is a good thing to be learning, even in a market like this, because make no mistake, real estate is cyclical. The reality of it is you're going to have this market disappear and another one's going to take its place. In the 30 years I've been doing this, this is the case. So the question becomes, how are you performing in all of these different markets? Am I staying up on the skill set for the market? Are we letting them understand that, look, I don't know what the price is. You don't know what the price needs to be, but the market will speak to us. It'll give us indicators. We have to clearly interpret. If we are going back and ask them, what's your thoughts? What do you see? Share with me. Ultimately, what are you trying to accomplish with the sale of your property? So I'm going to revisit their why. Not just what's the most important thing. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Well, I got to move to California. I got to move to St. George. I got to move here. The reality is we got to get back to that emotional state to have another buy-in to where we're at or what we're doing. Look, real estate is nothing more than a psychological game. We here at Everest every single day are putting things together to help you agents lock in, practice, do better, and then go out and test it. If you're not getting the results you want, I would suggest that you record yourself when you're pitching the pricing strategy. Have somebody that you trust really critique you. Be open for brutal feedback. Oh, Rick, you're too tough. You're too hard. You're too harsh. Trust me, those are the things I get because I'm just, I'm like the bull in the china hutch. I just want to get to the end. I know where we need to go to the outcome. I know what we need to try to make things work. Yet I get lost myself in the emotion of what I'm doing. But if I know my script well enough, and I know my strategy well enough, I can calm down, take my time, Ask that important question. What is it you're ultimately trying to accomplish? Share with me. If you don't get this home sold, what does that mean? Guys, in this market right now, we have more of an opportunity to take 7 and 8% listings than we ever had in any time. Here's why. I've got people in our office here that are taking 7 and 8% listings. Well, how? Look, it's a mindset. If your presentation is powerful enough, they don't question. If you're confident enough, they don't question. But let's just say they do. And they say, Rick, Gall, we want you to do it for 5%. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, can I share with you what you're really asking me? Sure. What you're really asking me is to put more money in your pocket, right? That's right. Okay, so let me ask you, would you have the dentist leave out the Novocaine when they're drilling your teeth? Because here's the reality. If you're taking it for less and there's less money to spend on marketing and different things, you may not know that's even happening. But let me ask you this. If you're making more money by working with me, does it matter what you're paying me if you're making more money? Now, sometimes you have to ask that question over 2, 3, 4 times before they go, oh, say it like that. No, doesn't matter. Yeah, because look, I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to do it for free till we're successful. Then does it matter if I'm charging you 7, 8, 9%? If I'm leveraging that cost into the buyer based on price. Now you have to clearly pitch that and let them see that the cost is leveraged into the price. What we need to get them to focus on, because that's what we do. Us as agents get them to focus on the right thing, which is putting more money in their pocket. And if I'm leveraging into a buyer side, you're not paying it at all because the loan's paying it. You're getting what you want and then some. Why wouldn't we ask for 7%? I'm confused. How much? I challenge you to go back at your business last year, look at the deals you've done. If you would have taken a 7% listing, because you can offer it at a 3% across and keep 4, then you have more room and flexibility if something goes haywire. You're not giving away the farm. But look, until we actually get to the point to where we're under contract, we're doing it for free until it closes. What does it matter? But we have to buy into that mindset of going, people, ask for what you're worth. I believe it. I believe. And when I go in, it's 7%. Why is it 7%? Well, does it matter if I'm making you more money? Because if you're making more money, it doesn't matter. If I'm leveraging that into the cost to the buyer, you're okay with that, right? Well, yeah. Now you're not paying anything. I've done better than what they're asking. We have to be confident in where we're going, what we're doing, and how we're doing it. But know your pitch. Know your story. Are you singing the song that they're going, oh, I like that. Let me sing along with that. Once we do that, guys, I'm telling you what, things changed massively. So I challenge you to look at your business, ask how you're doing it, learn the pricing strategy and structure so that you're confident when this market shifts, or if you have properties in that price range that actually require a pricing strategy, because the market, once again, will sing to us. Are we part of that? Guys, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Till next time, see you at the top. Let's close with some affirmations.